Welcome, 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 beautiful divas. This is Shay, your girl, your love diva, Master Certified Love Strategist, voted top 5 love coach in the entire world, ma'am. So if you are looking for a formula to up level your love life so that you can attract a high value man that matches the level that you do life, then baby, you are in the right place. I'm so glad that you are here. We have a whole lot to talk about. Make sure that you have your red lipstick on, you have your pen, your notepad, because I'm getting ready to teach you some things that's really going to upgrade your love life. And I promise you, you're going to hear things that you've never heard anywhere else. So you want to make sure you're ready because I'm not going to repeat myself. Every single live is going to be different. And I promise you, it's going to be value that you wish you would have been ready to write down. So that I can love on you, please leave your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji. Your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji. And if you are returning, you're already part of the Divahood. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Instagram. Yes. Thank you. Y'all are just all loving and stuff. But for those of you who are returning, you're already part of the Divahood. Go ahead and drop your name and a lipstick emoji, so that I know that you're already part of the Divahood. But welcome, 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 divas. Go ahead and let's get this show started. Okay, I know you're from Nigeria. I'm gonna need your help with saying your name because I don't want to mess it up. It's beautiful, okay? I'm sure it's beautiful, but just phonetically break it down to me. She said Divahood represented here. Hey, baby. Tara, welcome back, honey. Sharon, from New York, from Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn in the house. Welcome, baby. Let's see. Felita from Philadelphia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? What is your name, honey? What is your name? Is it Savannah? Savannah from South Georgia. Hey. Micah, welcome back, baby. Marcelia, girl, and it looks easy. It's really not as hard as I'm making it out to be. I apologize. Please blame it on my head, not my heart. From California, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. Ashley, welcome back from New York. Christina from San Jose, California. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I'm gonna give away something today. I'm gonna give a mood. I'm feeling like I'm gonna give something away. So I'm gonna be giving some bonuses away. I think I'm gonna give a couple of my books away today. But go ahead and drop your name. I need to know who I'm going to be giving all of these goodies away before this live ends. Nija from Greensboro, North Carolina. Welcome. Amsterdam. Hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Ashley. Okay, so let's get this party started. Renee. Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. It always looks like a penis to me. Always looks like a penile. All right. For those of you who do not know me, I am Shay, your love diva. I am a Master Certified Love Strategist, which is the highest designation in love coaching. I've been voted one of the top 5 love coaches in the entire world. I run a top level love mastery agency, helping women who are high achieving to be able to attract their high value husbands who are marriage minded and who will love their soul. So if you are looking for a formula to up-level your love life, then baby, you are in the right place, because I am also a scientist. As a scientist, I break down the science of attraction so that it works for you, so that it makes sense, so that it's predictable, so that the ball is in your court. You no longer have to play the guessing game when it comes to love, because you'll know exactly what it is that you need to do. You know how men are biochemically wired and how to trigger a man, any man you want, so that he wants to provide, commit, and protect you. And so you'll be learning all those good things here. Monica from Maryland, welcome. Angelette from Georgia, hey. Nora, did you get my lip gloss, love bug? It's right there on my makeup thing, love. You got my lips looking dry. Destiny, they look dusty. Libby Garcia from Kansas, welcome, baby. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you caught this live too. Vanessa from Canada. Mary, welcome. Avia from Tampa, Florida, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, ladies, I hope you have your notepads. I hope you have your red lipstick on. I hope you have your tea. I hope you are ready to go because, listen, we are getting ready to walk into a lion's gate. Anybody here knows exactly what a lion's gate is? Does anybody know what the Lionsgate portal is that opens up around this time? I believe it's between the 5th of August to the 8th of August. So I'm getting ready to show you how you can set yourself up so that you can use this high vibrational time to call forth, to manifest the love that is already waiting for you. You don't have to make it happen. It's already waiting for you. So I'm going to show you how to be able to align with that. Hey, welcome, welcome. Canada in the house. I know, I was in Hawaii for a little bit. I almost got caught out in the tsunami. All right, beautiful divas, let's get started, okay? How many of you are familiar with the Lion's Gate? Because I'm getting ready to tell you how you can use the Lion's Gate so that you can stop dealing with these Build-A-Bears and you can finally start attracting and manifest a love that fills your soul. A love that matches the love that you dream of, that you know that you deserve. So how many of you know what the Lion's Gate is? Okay, you know, if you know what the Lion's Gate is, just say I. If you don't know what the Lion's Gate is a very powerful energetic portal for manifesting and creating. Okay, everything in the universe is vibration and frequency, and if you understand that, then you understand how to use these moments in order to work to your highest benefit. So the first thing I'm going to do as we're talking, I want you to first align with that. Understand that right now you're in a time period where you can literally speed up attracting your romantic best friend. But in order for you to be able to speed up attracting your romantic best friend, I got to prepare you to know what it is that you need to do when you're dating, okay? Because I don't know, have you guys not noticed how the dating game has changed? Have you not noticed how dusty these men are nowadays? Have anybody noticed how men now want you to prove yourself to them? They want you to earn them. How more men are talking about going 50-50, how more men are ghosting and not being men, not standing in their truth, not taking accountability of themselves. More men are lying, more men are cheating, more men are in pornography. Like, is it just me that's noticing it? Like, who here is noticing all the Build-A-Bears that are running around? It's almost like, for those of you who grew up in the 80s and you watched the movie The Gremlins, and you know what happened with the gremlins. You notice how, like, you know, when you poured water on the gremlin. You know, when the water hit the gremlin, it was all sweet at first, okay? I mean, Gizmo was sweet. And then that water dropped, that one little drop of water dropped on Gizmo, and it was over. He produced these little monsters, little baby monsters, and they was wreaking havoc everywhere. And that's what happened. Like, men started off being men. Like, back in our granddaddy's days, they started off as being men. They wanted to provide. They wanted to protect. They wanted to commit. They wanted to get married. They knew how to court a woman. They took pride in being able to take care of a woman. But for some reason, somebody put a drop of water and took the most uncute, I'm getting it. I'm finding it. They took the most uncute, okay? The most uncute one, and basically the first woman that started chasing after him, you know, filling his head up, making him feel like he was something when he wasn't. And then he started telling his friends, like, this is the game. And then here we go, okay? Now we got men that they want to be pretty too, and they want to be courted too, and they want to be earned too. And how, in this landmine of this dating trash that we're dealing with, how do you attract your romantic best friend? A man who is effed up. How do you attract a man who is fun, who is faithful, and who will love your heart forever? How do you do that? The only way you're going to know how to do that is with a strategy. And this is how I figured it out. So, back in the day, your girl was getting played all the daggone time. And when I say I was getting played, I mean I was getting played to the point where a married man lied to me, say he was single, he had a whole wife and child in another state that left him, turned around, and me not being the smartest, not understanding how my traumas, how my pains was affecting my decision making capability, I married this man in like 3 months, only to find out that he was already freaking married. I have had men that abused me. I've had men that cheated on me. Like, all the things that you've experienced, multiply that by 1,000. I've either done it or I've helped somebody through it. So after going through one heartbreak after another, I found myself homeless with a child. And I felt like I let my daughter down. So then what I did was I made her a promise as we sat on a friend's couch after spending a night in my car. And I made her a promise, and I told her that mommy was going to figure this love thing out. I was going to break the pattern because my mother experienced being abused. I experienced being abused. Her mother experienced being abused. And I didn't want my daughter to go through the same thing. So I said I was going to do what it takes in order to break that pattern in our family. That I was going to show her what real love looks like by attracting a good man who can love me, to show her how she's supposed to be treated by a man. And that I was going to buy her a big backyard. And I'm really, really blessed that I was able to keep that promise. But the only way that I was able to keep that promise is that because I graduated pre-med biology, I wanted to be a pediatric cardiologist. So I did a dating experiment. And when I did the dating experiment, I went on over 100 dates in a little over 3 months. And I interviewed over 4,000 men, women, and couples. And I read hundreds of love, dating, and relationship books. I read The Psychology of Men. I read The Anthropology of Dating, of Love, of Attraction. And I really wanted to understand the science, because as a science girl, I knew that if I could figure out the science behind attraction, then I can make it predictable. I can increase my options so that I can be able to attract anybody I wanted and have like multiple options and then choose the best quality for me. And so that's what I set out to do. And eventually I was able to attract my romantic best friend. Me and my husband have been married for 11 years, August the 30th this year. And he is my absolute bestest friend. But what did I do? What was my journey from getting played to getting paid? Because when I learned the secrets that I learned when I did my dating experiment, that's exactly what happened. I moved from attracting a bunch of Build-A-Bears, a bunch of men who wanted me to do all the work, who wanted me to prove myself to them, a bunch of men that wanted to lie, cheat, abuse me. I went from attracting those kind of men to attracting men who were very successful, men who wanted to commit to me, wanted to give me the world without me having to, and this is the part I want y'all to write down, okay? This is the part I want you to take notes on. I didn't even have to give him any of my nook, okay? He didn't even get my cookies, okay? Yes. He didn't even, matter of fact, the less I gave them, hear me, ladies, because I'm telling you, when you figure out, when I teach you what it is that I taught you, the less I gave them, the more they wanted to give me. The less I did to try to prove myself, the more they wanted to give to me. So let me first take a temperature to see exactly where you are. How many of you have been single for longer than 3 months? Say I. If you've been single longer than 3 months, say I. Let me know. Where are you? Longer than 3 months? Longer than 3 months? 3 months? Where are you? You've been single for 2 months? Well, that's not quite 3 months yet, ma'am. Longer than 3 months? Anybody been single longer than 6 months? Anybody longer than 6 months? Single longer than 6 months? Anybody longer than 6 months? Anybody longer than 6 months? Anybody longer than 8 months? 8 months? Anybody longer than 8 months? Anybody single longer than 8 months? We got 3 years on the board. We got 3 years on the board. We got 4 years on the board. We got 6 years on the board. We got 7 years on the board. Wow, damn. We got 11 years on the board. 11 whole years is a really long time, man. It's powdered milk at this point. Anybody else past 11 years? Anybody else past 11 years? And Facebook. Anybody past 11 years? I see 2 years. I see 8 years. Nobody else longer than 11 years. Anybody else going 11 years? We got single longer than 12 months. 27 years, ma'am. You can't be 27, okay? You can't be 27. That doesn't count, ma'am. Confirm you ain't 27. I see 9 years on the board. I see 14 years, okay? 27 years? Are you 20? Okay, I knew it. I knew you had to be 27. Anybody, 11 years seems to be the most years on the board. Anybody else over 11 years? Going once, more than 11 years single. I see 5 years, I see 4 years, but I don't see anybody longer than 11 years. I see 10 years on the board, but I don't see anybody longer than 11 years. Going once, going twice, 20 years. Francis, please tell me you're not 20 years old, ma'am. That doesn't count, ma'am. 21 years, ma'am. Seriously? Are you 21? Okay, don't cheat. Tell the truth. If it's 21, if you are over 40 and it's been 21 years, let me know. It's been 21 years, ma'am. I think 21 years alone. Okay, sold to 21 years, ma'am. Make sure you email support@shaybetter.com. Tell them that you won a book. You won one of my books. Congratulations. You 66, ma'am. 21. Nobody should go 21 years, ma'am. Nobody. At this point, ma'am, there's multiple parts in your body that's very upset with you. It's time for us to end that. And ladies, what you got to understand is you don't have to be single this long. Like some people wear it. If you didn't get the book, ma'am, just email support@shaybetter. Okay? Email support@shaybetter.com and let them know that if you won the book, that you're supposed to get the book. Okay? I'll get on Faith to make sure. That's my assistant. I'll get on her. Listen, you said 21 years, ma'am. They have actual scientific research that shows that the longer you are single, the longer that you are single, for one, you start to get used to being alone and you start to get more antisocial. They've also shown the effect that it has on the brain. It decreases the plasticity of your brain. Do you know what that means? The plasticity of your brain is what allows you to be able to adapt, that allows you to be more creative, that allows you to make more money, that allows you to create bonds and friendships. Like, there's multiple studies. Man was not meant to be alone. Do you remember that part in the Bible, ma'am? Do you remember that part? So you were not meant to be alone, no matter how much that you have lied to yourself. And I get it, because when you've gotten your heart broken over and over again, and you've been disappointed and you've been played and you don't even trust yourself, then yes, that's the default. But if you listen to what it is that I'm getting ready to tell you, you don't have to operate in the dark anymore. I'm getting ready to tell you exactly what I did. What I did on my dating experiment that took me from getting played all the time to getting paid. And when I say getting paid, I went from men cheating on me, abusing me, mistreating me, not wanting to commit to me, to a man bought me a car and gave me the car. Like, gave me the title to the car, brand new. Another man bought me a house because I said I wanted to do real estate investing. I was getting trips, like me and my friends. It was like an inside joke with my friends. Like, there was like guys always wanted to buy or give me things, and I didn't even ask for it. I got tickets to the Masters, the Super Bowl, the Open. I got some Jay-Z concert tickets. Not really a Jay-Z fan, but got like damn near front row tickets to a Jay-Z concert. It didn't, anything that I wanted, if I said that I wanted, then men were giving it to me. Can somebody tell me what is it that I did different as a single? Yes, ma'am. As a single woman with a blessing in the form of a child. Yes. Yes. That's a lie that has been perpetuated, that because you are a single woman with a blessing in the form of a child, that men don't want you. But what's the difference? Somebody tell me, what is the difference? What did I do differently from when I was getting played, mistreated, ignored, not committed to, wasn't getting any dates, men were ghosting me? What was the difference? I stopped chasing. I created a different narrative about myself. Stopped chasing. I attracted instead of chasing. I changed my mindset, my feminine energy. I focused on myself. I gave nothing, following instincts and setting boundaries. You did not give or do too much. God don't call everyone to marriage, though. It's in the Bible, ma'am. If you believe that, then enjoy that, okay? Whatever you believe is true for you, okay? Inner work, black cat energy, that's child. Self-value, feminine energy, turn on your feminine energy, less energy towards them, more about yourself. I healed first. You know what? I'm so glad that you said that, and I would love to say that I did heal first. but I actually did not. And I'm going to tell you what it did to me. So I had so many great men that wanted to be with me. And what I did in order to attract them is I learned these things. First, I learned what his 6 needs are. And I mastered the top 2 needs. Every man has 6 human needs, and there's 2 primary needs that every man has. And when you identify those 2 primary needs, then it's golden, for real. Like, it's like pushing a button over and over again. Then I was able to identify his top 3 insecurities. Okay? So I was able to identify his top 3 insecurities. And then I was able to master my feminine energy. And I learned the art of seduction. But, and I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest with you. And listen, it's funny because people say, but you were pretty though. Baby, I was getting played pretty. Okay? I was pretty getting played. I was pretty still a single woman with a blessing in the form of a child. Like, the way you think, what you think attracts men isn't what actually attracts them. When I studied the science of this, I realized that any woman, it didn't matter her age, her size, her looks, the number of her kids, if you understand this formula, it will work for you no matter what. Pretty girls get played, I think, even more than anybody else because they have way more options and way more men that just want to use them for sex. So that's absolutely not what it was. So, but my biggest mistake is that I learned all these things that I just told you that I learned, and I had a ton of men that were vying for my attention, and a ton of men that wanted to commit to me, and a ton of men that wanted to give me everything. But I didn't heal first, and you know what happened? Somebody just guess. Just guess what happened. And I'm just telling you this to help you to avoid the same pitfall that I made. Somebody tell me what happened. I wish I could say I started loving myself first. Michelle, that's close. I picked the wrong one. You did. It was like a whole bunch. You could have 1,000 good men, but if you don't clear your love blocks, then you will pick that one Build-A-Bear. You will pick the one that isn't right for you. And then the one that really cared about me, he was great. Like this man, when I tell you he was wealthy, he was wealthy. He just wanted to give me the world. Literally wanted to give me the world. I didn't want him. I said, we don't have the chemistry. We're not compatible. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Did anybody else do that before? Did anybody else do that? I'm the only one. I'm the only one that did that. I'm the only one that walked away from a good guy. Huh? I'm the only one that walked away from a great guy who wanted to give me the world. Because I said we wasn't compatible. The problem is that my nervous system wasn't regulated to receive healthy love. I was used to chaotic, traumatic love. I was used to that struggle love. And I confused chemistry with chaos is what it was. That's what it was. And until I learned how to heal my love blocks, until I learned how to rewire my subconscious mind, until I started to understand the science of this, like how do I attract a good man and have a good man love me? But first I had to love me. And so I'm going to break this down to you. I'm going to break down the science so it's not hard for you. Okay? So that you understand why do men do what it is that they do. How many of you ever had a man that was super into you? He was super excited about you. He was falling all over himself trying to get a date with you. You was like, I'm not really interested. I don't know. And then when you gave him a chance, then when you started caring about him, then he pulled away. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Say I. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Hold that thought. Ask me, Tina Media, ask me that later. I'm going to tell you the science behind what happened. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that happened. Now, you got to understand that every relationship has 6 phases. Put it in the chat. Now, before I start teaching you, I want you to give me permission to be your coach for the moment. Now, my clients who work directly with me, my elite clients, pay me $20,000 an hour. They pay me upwards of $165,000 for 6 months to $300,000 a year. My celebrity clients pay me even more than that. I'm getting ready to put the same value in you. I'm getting ready to give you the same type of coaching that I give those clients. However, I believe in being in spiritual order. So before I start coaching you, you got to give me permission. So if I have your permission to coach you, please say yes, ma'am, in the chat. If I have permission to coach you. Oh, thank you. If I have permission to coach you, say yes, ma'am. So that I'm in spiritual order, alignment. Plus, you're also training your subconscious mind so that you can be able to receive the information that I'm giving so that it can have the benefit, the positive intentions that I have for you. Also, your yes, ma'am allows me to be able to connect with you. I also have the gift of being able to see into people's past, present, or future. It's a gift that I was born with, so I can hear people's thoughts. So then when you say yes, ma'am, I can be in spiritual alignment with you so that when something specifically is affecting you, then I can speak specifically to that. It allows me to be in energetic alignment with you. So if I have your permission to be your coach for the next 30 minutes, then just say yes, ma'am. Okay? Si, senor. Senor. Love it. All right. So understand that every, I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's your friend that you've known for 1,000 years since you were 2 and your parents are best friends, ma'am. It does not matter. Every relationship goes through 6 phases. Put 6 in the chat. Every relationship goes through 6 phases. Put 6 in the chat. Every relationship goes through 6 phases. Now, when you meet a man, then he's either one of 2 men. He's either a man who's in his masculine energy or he's in his feminine energy. And when I say feminine, I would say feminized, because when a man is in his imbalanced feminine energy, that's what causes the problem. And understand it like this. Your feminine energy is powerful and good for you, okay? If you are out of balance and you're more in your masculine energy than your feminine energy, then based on polarity, then you're out of order. That's going to affect you. It's even going to affect you biochemically. And they've done studies and research on this. For a woman who's constantly like in her doing mode, she works that high demanding job. Where are my like type A ladies? You like are in leadership and work. You work that high demanding job. You're the type of woman that's make it happen. Where are you at? Where are those ladies at? Where are you at? Okay. Usually you're like in some type of corporate leadership, those type of jobs. Then oftentimes we have been brainwashed as women to abandon our feminine energy and operate in our masculine energy. And what that does is it drives our testosterone up, our estrogen down. It affects our hormones and it drives our cortisol up. Our cortisol is our stress hormone. Now, based on the law of polarity, if you are in your masculine energy, then just based on science, then what does that make you a magnet to, ma'am? Somebody put it in the chat. What does it make you a magnet to? Huh? Does it make you a magnet to a masculine man or a feminine man? Exactly. It makes you a magnet. So you're in your masculine energy. There's no way you can attract a masculine man. These are magnets, ma'am. You're going to repel each other. The sex is going to be good. Okay? You, with all of that masculine energy you got going on, you have sex with a man, that's when it's all hot and heavy. Okay? The sex is going to be good. But no matter how much that man cares about you, he won't be able to truly connect with you. You're going to push him away. That means that you're going to be a magnet to that feminine man. You're not going to be able to attract the masculine man. And you know what feminine men do to women like you? What I call my rubies, okay? The ruby woman is that ruby, the woman that's that type A, make it happen, Miss Independent. She's the one that either I do it myself or it's not getting done right. And she's often always the one that all her friends, everybody goes to. But then when it's her turn, then nobody's there for her. And she oftentimes attracts the narcissistic men and the man babies. Hello? being a single mom oftentimes does drive a woman in her masculine energy when she doesn't know how to balance it. Also, when you have, and a lot of women don't even realize this, they don't realize that they have what's called a love block. A love block is thoughts, behavior, beliefs, or energetic blocks that are literally trapped in your body. And a lot of women think that they're fine. They don't realize that when their mother was overcritical of them, that it caused a feminine wound in them. They don't understand that when their father was emotionally unavailable or physically not present, that it caused a masculine wound in them. They don't understand that when they experience sexual trauma, that caused a wound in them. That even if they don't think about it every day, it's still affecting their magnetism to healthy love. And the way that they are driven to achieve success is from a position of unworthiness. And because of that, then they're also in a position of attracting love from that same position of proving my worth. And narcissistic men love these type of women because all he has to do is trigger your sense of not enoughness, and you're going to automatically go to work with proving that you aren't what he says that you are. Arguing with him, overdoing, overgiving, over showing up for him, over explaining, only for him to drain you. And so the way you're showing up when you're going through these 6 phases of every relationship depends on what your unique archetype is. And the 5 unique archetypes are ruby, amethyst, diamond, citrine, and onyx. So the onyx woman is the woman who's like the empathic woman. And for the empathic woman, she gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. She lacks boundaries. So when that man came crying to you, when you found out that he lied about being married, and then he said that he was planning on leaving his wife, but his wife is mistreating him and keeping the kids away from him, and he made himself a victim. You remember that? You don't remember that? Yeah. That man who played on your sense of, because you know how you would operate. You wouldn't do anybody like that. But so you give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't earn. Oftentimes you ignore your own intuition. And because you lack the boundaries, then narcissistic men and married men love onyx women, that empathic woman. And being an empath is a gift, but it was born out of pain. I'm going to say this again. Being empathic is a gift, but it was born out of pain because you oftentimes lived in an environment that was emotionally unsafe and stable. So that means that you had to be very deft at determining the temperature, the emotional temperature in the room. And you had to adjust accordingly if you wanted to keep yourself safe, physically or emotionally. And so you got really good at reading people very well. You could feel people. You can feel energy very, very well. That was a survival method that you developed, you evolved into. The only problem is that same gift also makes you a magnet to the trauma bonds it attracts. For the citrine woman, she experienced being abused or witnessing abuse when she grew up. So even when she says, I will never be like my mother, I will never ever let a man put his hands on me, she ends up attracting that man that puts his hands on her. And you can be smart, successful, powerful, beautiful, and still be that woman that ends up abused. And then you have the diamond woman. And for the diamond woman, she has all this great energy. She's a beautiful woman. She has a lot of great things going for her, but she doesn't see her worth and her value no matter what anybody says. So she attracts men that constantly criticize her, that constantly puts her down, who always wants her to change, who always wants her to be what it is that he wants her to be. And then last but certainly not least, you have the amethyst. And the amethyst woman, she's a woman who was inappropriately touched at some point in her life, okay? I have to be careful with that. Now, I've been doing this for 2 decades, 20 years, and I've helped thousands of women. And a lot of my practice are women who have been sexually violated. But you would be surprised how many women come to me, and when I ask them, because I can see it, were you sexually violated when you were like 6? And they're like, no, nope, that never happened to me. That's interesting. Not what I'm seeing. All right, let me ask this again. Were you inappropriately touched when you were 6? Oh, yeah, my cousin, one night. And that creates a wound. And that impacts you for the rest of your life unless you close that wound, unless you heal it. Now, let's get even deeper to the science of this. Now, imagine you have this wound, this tear in your energetic field because of what happened to you. And then you choose a man who is magnetized to you because of that wound, that trauma bond. And now that man and you have sex. And you have sex with that man, and I'm trying not to get kicked off on TikTok, okay? But he has his organism inside of you. Now, what your body does is your body will uptake his DNA, okay? You receive his DNA. You upload his DNA code into your body, and his DNA code influences your brain, influences your appetite, influences your reproductive system, even can trigger autoimmune disease. It even can and does cause inflammation. Some of you have a hard time losing weight, and you can't seem to lose weight because your body is inflamed, because it's reacting to that person who was never meant to enter into your body. You upload his code, he downloads your code. And it doesn't matter how long you have been broken up with him. Until you have intentionally broken that bond, he's still influencing you. He's still influencing you through your DNA, and he still influences you energetically. And people can't stand it when I say that. They're like, no, it's not. It's only 7 years. It's only if you get pregnant. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There's research. I've posted it on multiple videos. There's research that shows that when his sperm enters into your body, ma'am, that's through your mouth. Okay? That's through every hole in your body. Okay? Every hole in your body. You are uploading his DNA code and it's staying with you. And the purpose of that is his DNA is staying in your body so that it can prime your body, so that it can reject anybody else in the future, and prime and prepare your body to receive his sperm, to keep his offspring alive. So for some of you, you had a favorite food that you no longer liked after you had sex with a man. Or some of you started feeling sad. You don't even understand, why were you dealing with extreme, the D word. I don't even like this. The word is so low vibrational. I don't even like saying it. But some of you never felt down until you had sex with this man. Now all of a sudden you've been feeling down. Now all of a sudden things weren't working for you. You lost your job. You was losing friendships. You had a string of bad luck. Because not only is there a biochemical reaction to a sperm, but there's an energetic reaction to his sperm. Y'all, this is not even woo-woo. This is not even woo-woo, okay? Like, science have been showing that we are energetic beings. They've been showing, like, your protons and neutrons and all the empty space in there and the vibrational pattern. Dr. Dispenza, he does a lot of research on it. He breaks it down. So you are literally uploading this man's intentions. You are uploading his energetic prints based on traumas that have been passed down through his bloodline. You're uploading his pain into your body. You're uploading his negative intentions. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. Because there's a way for you to be able to break the soul contract. Because there's a difference between a soul contract. There's a difference between a soul tie. And there's also DNA cleansing. There's 3 things. Okay? Even if he's had a vasectomy, ma'am, he's still producing seminal fluid. He just don't have sperm in it. And the fluid it's still getting inside of you and it's still impacting you. So the same way you upload his code like a hard drive, he downloads yours. What does that mean? You also impact him. So when a man is having sex with a lot of women, then it's affecting his lifespan. Studies show that men who have sex with a lot of women die sooner. It shortens their telomeres. What does that mean? Telomeres is on the ends of our DNA, and that's what determines our lifespan, okay? And as the telomeres shorten, then it shortens your lifespan, basically. Not only that, it increases his risk of cancer. On average, what science, not Shay, what science says is he lives 7 years less by having sex with too many women. And then when he's having sex with these women, he's downloading their energy. He's downloading their traumas. He's downloading their fears. He's downloading their anxiety. He's downloading their depression. And then he goes and enters it into your body. So how do you think that's going to impact you, baby? How do you think that's going to affect you? I am an amethyst woman, but I do not have unprotected sex without a condom until I get married. I can only marry the right man. Y'all, I'm so thank you. Bless you for saying this. This is going to help so many people. How many people think that if you wear a condom, then that's going to protect you from his DNA impacting you? How many of you think a condom is going to protect you from his DNA impacting you and protect you from his energy entering your body? Raise your hand. How many? Let me see it. Huh? Ma'am, there is no condom thick enough to block the spirits that he's uploading inside of you. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. And we all know condoms are not 100%. Condoms break. It leaks. Like the fluids, his fluids come up above the condom. Condoms aren't 100%. It gives you a false sense of safety and security. Sex is still a spiritual act. Yes, ma'am. And here's the deal. Because just not having sex or just being by yourself, that's not the answer either. Because you still have the effects of everybody else that you've already had sex with. You still have that still impacting you. So that's the reason why, ladies, it's so important that you are intentional about who you're choosing. So when I break down real quick, because I'm running out of time. So when I break down these 6 steps, the 6 phases of a relationship, I need y'all to stop playing and I really need you to listen to me. Because it's more than him just smelling good and being cute, ma'am. Okay? It's more than him just having good game. Like that one night can stay with you for life. It can impact you for life. It can block you from receiving your husband for life. Technically, if I have your permission to go deep, technically, when you have sex with a man, that's what marriage was considered. Because 2 becomes 1 when you have sex. Hello? Okay, maybe I'm getting too deep. I'll be quiet. I'll move on. Because I know y'all don't want to hear that. Some of y'all got multiple husbands. That's all I'm going to say. Some of y'all got about 4, 5, 6, 11 husbands. And the reason why you can still feel him, the reason why you can still feel that man draining your energy is because he's still hooked and anchored into you. And he's causing trauma. And then you already have a tear in your energy field from the trauma that happened to you when you were young. And now you have this man that has a direct link into your body that's also creating more trauma. You can't just ignore this. This isn't something that you need to be passive about. You gotta be intentional. So, based on where you're at, okay, because we're starting at ground zero, and this is where a lot of people fail you. Like a lot of you like that cookie cutter candy, black cat, brown dog, whatever it is type of advice. But the reason why it's not helping you is because you're not starting at ground zero. You're not understanding like what you're bringing already to the table before you enter into a relationship. Some of you enter into a relationship already divorced. It says, and not to get, because listen, I'm very spiritual. I have clients from all different religions, but I want you to follow me. It says, he shall find his wife. And when he has, he's found a prize. That means that you are already a wife. You are already a wife. Period. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you different. You can be by yourself if you want to. But you have a husband, you have a soulmate who's been waiting on you. And there is hope for you to be able to meet him when you know what it is that you're doing. So if you can get clear about what it is that you want, like, are you willing to tell yourself the truth? Are you willing to admit that you want love? That's the first thing. Because so many women lie to themselves saying, I don't want love. I don't need it. If it comes, it comes. But if you have that mindset, you are setting yourself up for heartbreak and disappointment. How many of you are willing to admit that you want love? Say I. How many of you are willing to do that? How many of you are willing to do that? How many of you are willing to admit that I want love? How many of you are willing to do that? So, and we're in the middle of the Lionsgate portal. So as you're admitting that, you're literally in the process of creating. Just so you know, you're in the process of manifesting. With your I do, your husband is already starting to move towards you. Now, it's just a matter of you being able to receive him. The I do is literally creating an energetic magnetism to move your soulmate towards you. Now, all you have to do is just stay out your way, okay? Stay out of your head, stay out of the fear, and now it's just getting you in alignment. And before the end of this call, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to help you to do this, okay? I promise you, you're going to be knocking my doors down trying to get my help, but I'll tell you what to do, okay? But at least first step is, I admit that I want love. I admit that I want love. I admit it. I admit it. I want love. Okay. Now let me tell you how to get it. The highest level. Because you have to move a different kind of way. Now, understand this key thing. Okay. Vasopressin. Vasopressin in men. Oxytocin for women. Your goal is to trigger his vasopressin as fast and hard as possible. While using discernment, ma'am, because you're powerful. Okay? When you really realize how powerful you are, you will be extremely careful. And you will be extremely selective about these men that you're choosing to throw your energy at. You can't just throw your energy at everybody. Okay? Because your energy is extremely powerful. It can create worlds and tear them down. So the first thing that you got to understand is triggering his vasopressin as fast and as hard as possible. How do you do that? The first thing is understanding the first phase is the attraction phase. When you see him, you're attracted to him. And I don't care, ma'am. I don't care if y'all were friends for 15 years or 20 years or 30 years. The moment that you and him agree to move forward with courting, to entertain the idea of moving into a relationship, you're starting at ground zero. Okay? How many of you guys had a friend and you thought because we were friends we can kind of skip all the different phases, and then you move too fast and then your friend ended up breaking your heart? Now you lost a friend and you lost a man. Like, how many of you have ever experienced that? Say I. Hello? Am I talking to myself? And that's the worst, when you lose your best friend or you lose a friend. Because a man as a friend isn't the same man as your man. That's what you got to understand. You don't know him. You don't know this man until he becomes your man. And every man has three faces. Every man has a public face, a private face, and a secret face. Every man has three faces. Many of you don't even know which one you're having sex with when you're having sex with him. However, I recommend that you never had sex with a man until you've seen that secret face. And every single one of them has that secret face. So then when you meet a man and you're in the attraction phase, you're seeing his public face. You triggered his testosterone. His testosterone is his sex hormone. And he's triggered your oxytocin. The problem is that biochemically, we as women were designed to fall fast. Men were designed to fall slow. What does that mean? The moment that you start to feel the chemistry, it's game on for you. Your frontal lobe is starting to shut down. You're releasing the oxytocins. You're producing bonding hormone. You're bonding, and it's lowering your inhibition, and you're becoming more trusting of him without even being given the reasons why to trust him, without being given the evidence to support you trusting him. And the more time you spend talking to him, and the more time you spend around him and smelling him and sniffing his pheromones, then the more you're producing that oxytocin and you're bonding to him. However, for a man, because you can fall in love with phone calls and text, not a man. Now, ma'am, for all of you long distance ladies who think that you're all in love with your long distance non-boyfriend, he's not falling in love with you. He's not. Especially if he's not trying to come see you at least every 3 weeks. He's not. Because men don't fall in love like that. They don't fall in love through writing or typing or even hearing. They got to be around you. They have to smell your pheromones. They have to see you. They fall in love through visual attachment and producing that vasopressin. And the more he's doing for you, then the more he's producing that vasopressin. However, producing vasopressin isn't enough for a man. Everybody, once I started talking about this, because I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been on YouTube since 2004. And everybody want to talk about the vasopressin, but it's not enough for him to produce vasopressin, ladies. You got to hear this. According to Don Maslar, he has to produce the vasopressin receptors. What does that mean? In order to be able to have the vasopressin to affect his mind and body the way it needs to for him to want to provide, commit, and protect you, that means he needs something to catch it. It's called receptors. And his body has to produce the receptors. Well, in order for him to produce those receptors, then he needs time. He needs time. And according to science, he needs at minimum 2.5 months. Ain't that crazy? You know how much time you need to fall in love? Huh? You know how much time you need to fall in love? You know how much time you need to bond? Some men aren't even capable of falling in love, but that's a whole different story. You only need one night, basically. 1 hour. Now you infatuated with him, but not him. They did a study with men, and they measured their brain activity when they would see pictures of women, and the women would be dressed like in revealing clothes, and they would see different kinds of women, different pictures of the women. And you know the part of their brain that lit up? Somebody take a guess. Somebody guess. What part of his brain lit up when he saw these pictures? I'm getting ready to tell you why that man was so hot and heavy for you, and then why he disappeared. I'm going to tell you from a scientific standpoint. The part of his brain the part of his brain that lights up when it sees a car, a shoe, French fries, ma'am, okay, a bird. The part of his brain that sees an object is what lights up. You a bird, ma'am. you a burger or a bird or some balloons. He hasn't had a chance to bond with you yet. So if you have sex with him before he's produced the receptors, it doesn't matter how excited he is. But if you have sex with him before he's had a chance to produce the receptors, according to Don Maslar, not Shay, okay? According to Don Maslar, then you the balloon that can float away. Because with his orgasm, done went his infatuation for you. Because he didn't have enough bonding to you to want to stay. That's what happened. Or at least that's one of the things that happened. I'm going to get to the other thing that could have happened. Okay? So basically, you was a Taco Supreme Deluxe to him. However, when you enter into the second phase, the courting phase, in the courting phase, he's doing all the work in order to get it, ma'am. What's it? Okay? What's it? To get your hamburger, ma'am. To get your kibbles and bits is what it is. Your Scooby snacks is what it is. Your moon pie. Yeah, it's your moon pie, ma'am. Yeah. Your goodies, okay? Your peaches and cream. That's basically the second phase of the 6 phases. Is him trying to get it, ma'am. Don't get mad. This is evolutionary. This is, if he didn't do that, then the human race wouldn't continue. That's what he's driven. That's what his testosterone drives him to do. It's the hunter hormone, okay? Your milkshake. That's what he's trying to get. Now, it's up to you. If you're following my love success formula, then as he is trying to get bringing all the boys to the yard, then he is falling for you. You're moving from the part of his brain that sees an object to the part of his brain that sees his wife, somebody that he needs, that sees his best friend. And as you're moving a certain way, and it's not a game, you're not even playing a game, you're becoming, you're embodying this woman that he craves and that he can't live without. And that triggers in him the need for you in his world. And based on science, ladies, men fall harder than women. It takes a man longer to get over heartbreak. Biochemically, it affects a man more. His body, it affects him more when he falls in love than when a woman falls in love. He has a great deal more, surprisingly. From a biochemical standpoint, he has a great deal more to lose than you. From a biochemical standpoint, you have a great deal more to lose when it comes to a mating standpoint. So, for a man, that's the reason why it takes him longer to bond. Because if he's going to have to sacrifice so much, then it needs to be worth it to him. So as you go through the courting phase, this is what's happening biochemically. His serotonin starts to drop, and so does his testosterone. What does that mean? When a man's testosterone is dropping, he's becoming more nurturing like a woman. That means he wants to give to you. He wants to do for you. And on top of that, he's obsessed with what it takes in order to make you happy. And as he's doing things to make you happy, he's releasing dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good hormone. So it's making him feel good to pour into you. Now, some of you will sabotage it because the moment he is doing for you, you feel guilty. You want to turn around and start doing for him like you a dude. He gives you a gift, you want to give him a gift back. He buys you dinner, you want to offer to pay the daggone tip, ma'am. Does his whole romantic date, you want to give him the nook, ma'am. You're doing the absolute most. Because you operating in your masculine energy, you want to start giving, and now you want to compete against who can give the most. The problem is that it turns him off. Have you ever wondered why? Why is it that wealthy men, very successful men, will leave their wives that help them build the business and marry the waitress? Hello? Anybody? You ever wonder, like, why is it? Huh? Why do you think that is? That a man who is very successful, very educated, and you are too, you're very successful, you're very educated, you got a lot going on, but he will bypass you for the woman who doesn't have anything. She reminds him of the struggle. Interesting. The waitress needed him. She's not leaning forward. Once he wants to provide. Here's why. When you're dealing with a man that is usually successful, usually these men are higher in their testosterone. They're more driven. They're more in their masculine energy. For these type of men, to be with a woman where they can't contribute causes pain. It makes him feel insignificant. And a man doesn't choose you based on how you make him feel. A man chooses you based on how you make him feel about himself. And if he does not have any space to add to you, if he does not feel needed in any way, he will lose the polarity for you. He won't be able to produce that vasopressin for you. Period. So for all of the ladies who are very successful, make it happen, and you're like, well, men are intimidated by me. No, absolutely not. Build-A-Bears are intimidated by you. Men who are in their feminine energy. Power couples, she's still in her feminine energy enough to be able to listen, I run a multi-million-dollar business. Okay? Your girl's good. I need my husband. Need him, I will yell it from the rooftops. My wrists are broken when it comes to my husband. My husband, he makes me tea every day. He makes me breakfast every day. My husband does so much for me. My husband opens my door every single time we get in the car. My husband drives me. I have no problem. My husband pays 100% of the bills. Let me say that slow-mo. I don't know who the name of the mortgage company is. I don't know who the name of the electricity company is, the gas company. I have no idea. I don't know. I need him. I can't, honestly, I can't even imagine what I would do without him. And I have no problem with that. Now, back in the day when I was like, I got to do it myself. I can do it. And I was the one paying the bills, and I was the one taking care of my ex-husband because he was a Build-A-Bear. I was tired. I was drained. I couldn't even think right. I couldn't even make as much money as I make now. I couldn't even sit safely in my feminine energy. We ain't supposed to be doing all that, ladies. Think about it. Have you ever seen a garden? Have you ever seen the flower unpluck herself? Jump up into the sun to get the sun? Jump up into the rain to get the rain? Walk around looking for some fertilizer in order for her to grow? You ever seen the daggone tomato garden like begging for somebody to give it what it needs in order for it to grow? No, ma'am. It sits there and receives well with no problem. It doesn't feel the need to have to give back before it's ready to give back, okay? Because you can water a garden, fertilize it, give it all the sun you want. But if that tree does not produce fruit, you can't eat. Some of you are giving your fruit away too soon. He ain't even nurtured it. You don't even feel safe with him yet. At all. And the reason why you continue to get hurt is because you're constantly pouring and giving instead of allowing yourself to be able to receive. Period. And Miss Counselor, when you're ready for me to teach you, then I'm here to unlearn whatever you think you know. Because I work with a lot of counselors. I train a lot of people in the mental health profession. And a lot of them can't even come close to my knowledge and understanding in this area. Not even a drippity drop, ma'am. But God bless you and your clients, okay? So when you understand how to be able to sit safely in your feminine energy, then you allow yourself to be able to receive a man and put yourself in balance. So you're able to receive, he's able to give, you continue to flourish. You continue to flourish in what makes you happy. You continue to receive, he continues to give, and it's a nice synergistic. And then as he's giving, you respect him. And a man needs your respect way more than he needs your love, which is the reason why a man who is broke cannot love you. Period. Cannot. And you are selling yourself short unless you're under 30, ma'am. If you're under 30, please stop looking for a boy in his 20s to be a millionaire. Okay, it's not realistic. Now moving on. So as you are in the courting phase, and as you are triggering this man's testosterone to drop and his serotonin to drop, he's producing the vasopressin and the vasopressin receptors. But it takes at least 2.5 months to 5 months in order for this man to be able to receive the vasopressin receptors. So the moment you have sex with him, you interrupt that vasopressin process. That process of him producing the hormones that allow you to be able to bond. Him to bond to you. To him to want to commit to you. To him to want to protect you. The moment you have sex. So this is the reason why you want to wait. You want to wait. It gives him more time to fall in love with you. It gives you more time to collect data. This is all men, baby. All of them. Even if a man is homosexual, okay? Even I always say same sex, same problem. It's same process. And for my homosexual brothers, I keep telling you, you got to stop being easy too, ma'am. Okay? Let him earn you. Just because you homosexual don't mean you need to throw it up in the air, drop it wide and spread it low. No, ma'am. Let him earn you. It's the same thing across the board. And then when you move on, and then you move from the courting phase, then you go through this phase that's extremely frustrating for women. And it's extremely confusing. Because every man, listen to me, every man is going to go through what's called the pull away phase, or what Dr. John Gray calls is the rubber band phase. Now, some men go through it in different ways, okay? Some men will physically pull away. Some men will dissociate in their mind, and you might notice subtly that he's not as present as he was before. Some of you are just so fabulously living your life that you don't even notice. Because you, as a single woman, should be dating at least 3 men at a time. I said what I said. Argue with your mama, not me. Ladies, you're not a prize if nobody's competing for you. Go out and date. How do you know you're getting the best option, ma'am? Even when you're looking for a pair of shoes, you are looking for the best pair of shoes for you. Even when you're looking for a car, you're looking and comparing and contrasting. What's the best car for you, ma'am? With every other aspect of your life, you're looking for the best. Why in the world would you, just the first man that smiles up in your face and tells you sweet nothings, then he automatically, when he hasn't done the work to earn you? Did you know that based in science, that when a woman is dating more than one man, it triggers higher testosterone in the other men that makes him more likely to pursue her if he is in his masculine energy, and makes him more likely to do the work to earn her. She radiates a different kind of energy, an energy that lacks a disgusting perfume called desperation. Ma'am, you do not owe him your exclusivity without his commitment. Period. You've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed as a woman to date, to date to his benefit and not yours. And it's these little things that you do when you date that set you up and sabotage you if you don't know what you're doing in the dating game. It literally costs you money. It costs you time. It costs you peace of mind. Because then you settle and you didn't even realize that you settled. How many of you ever took a job, accepted the first offer, only to start the job and find out that they paid somebody else more than you, and you're the one that's doing more work than the other person? Anybody? Anybody? You didn't even negotiate. You didn't interview with anybody. You just took the first offer. And I'm saying, I thank you, Monica, for saying that. Okay, y'all, just to be clear, since we've muddled the waters of what dating is. Dating does not include body parts. Okay? Dating is for data collection. Dating is an interview process to interview for the potential of the position of becoming your man. He should not be getting benefits when he hasn't even got the job. Who does that? Where they do that? Huh? Where they do that at? It doesn't mean sleeping. You don't sleep with somebody who's not your man. Okay? First of all, that's nasty. That's nasty. Breaking your vajayjay. There's not a one man in the world worth you breaking your vajayjay for at all. The second thing is that he doesn't deserve that. He hasn't earned that. If you are hungry, may I suggest you go to the Garden of Amazon, ma'am, and pluck you a rose or a rabbit or a carrot. And before you go on that date, I'm sorry, I'm a Sagittarius, y'all, and this is how we act. I'm a West Indian Sagittarius, and we just be saying what we saying. But use it. I'm so serious. Google it. She said, "What's a carrot?" Google it. You should never go on a date without smelling your rose first, okay? And you shouldn't be going on dates where you wearing your prettiest undies. What you doing, ma'am? Huh? You know you. Some of y'all, your baby daddies, okay, your exes, were simply because you went to the grocery store without eating first, ma'am. You don't like that man. You never liked that man. He was never cute, ma'am. He was so uncute, okay? And he had that little meaty part on the back of his neck that was uncute too, but you didn't get it for a long time, and he happened to smell good, and he caught you on the right day, and you was just around the corner from ovulation, and then he said hello, you said hi, you was thirsty, and then he offered you a cup, and you partook. You partook of Lake Minnetonka, and then here you are. Here you are. And you keep asking yourself, how? What was I thinking? You weren't. She was. So rather than set yourself up for that, I don't know why I'm like this. I have no idea why I'm like this. Rather than set yourself up for failure, ma'am, eat first. Eat before you go shopping, ma'am. Okay? You are dating. You're a single woman. You're dating. This is the most important aspect of your life. Make sure that you have choices. Make sure that you're choosing the best option for you. But most importantly, make sure the best version of you is showing up when you're dating, so that you are a magnet, a match, an attraction to that highest form of you, who can love you based on the future version of you. Not on this version of you based on the story of pain, of insignificance, of insecurities, of unworthiness, of being cheated on, of being broken. Now, ma'am, that's not what you want to do. Now, how many of you is just literally, like for real, you just really tired? You tired of this? You tired of wondering, when is it going to be your turn? You're just tired and you want my help. Like, how many of you, you're just tired and you just want my help? You're not looking for anybody to save you. You're not looking to make excuses. You're like, just show me the way. That's all I need you to do, Shay. Just show me what I need to do, because I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of not trusting myself. I'm tired of choosing it wrong. I'm tired of being alone. Like, that. Damn, taking the trash out by my damn self. I'm tired. I'm tired of raising these kids by myself. I'm just tired of doing it all my freaking self. I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm talking to the women that are tired and who are willing to do something about it. Like, if you're tired and you're willing to do something about it, that's who I want to talk to. Okay? Because I'm going to give you something. If you're tired and you're willing to do something about it. I'm going to help you to take advantage of this Lionsgate, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. What's stopping you? What's keeping you from the love that you want? Breaking down your love archetype so that it no longer keeps you from the love that you want. So you're no longer wasting time and money. Imagine attracting your romantic best friend who you can build an empire with. So it's not all on your shoulders anymore. Imagine somebody who's pouring into you and encouraging you to pursue your dreams because he's like, I got the bills. I don't need your help. Go do your thing. Or if you want to sit home, sit home. Or if you want to go and take over the world, go do that. Like, imagine that. Imagine having a man like that. That's what I'm talking about. If this is you, if you want that high level love, I'm not talking about broke down level love, then this is what I want you to do. Go to lovemappingcall.com. And for just you who are on this live, I'm going to give you half off. It's normally $197 to do a love mapping call. I'm going to let you book for $97, and then I'm going to give you over $2,700 worth of resources. It's called the Love Lux Kit, and it's going to include this. Now, this is probably one of my most valuable tools. It's called the Feminine Dating Cheat Sheet. The Feminine Dating Cheat Sheet breaks down exactly what date should you do in what order. What questions should you ask? When should you ask it? What are the red flags? What are the green flags? How to know if you should move forward or move out and move on. That's what you're going to be able to get. I'm also going to give you 101 places to meet very successful, wealthy men. Go to lovemappingcall.com. Once it's sold out, then it's sold out. So when you go to lovemappingcall.com and book your call, and y'all please don't play, okay? I'm here. I know I'm not for everybody, but I'm here for those of you who want more, who are willing to take action. And if that's you, once you book your love mapping call, come back here and put booked so I know, okay? Because I'm also going to throw in something extra for you. I'm also going to throw in a digital copy of my book as well. So you're going to get a digital copy of my book that's worth $49. You're going to get the Feminine Dating Cheat Sheet, the 101 places to meet high value men. Then you're also going to get a healing training that I did for my VIP elite clients, where I show you how to be able to heal your love blocks with ayahuasca being part of the process, and there's several other things that's in it. Okay? So go to lovemappingcall.com. I know some of you guys are already going over there. And when you book your call, then put booked here so that I can list you as one of the ones that's going to get that kit that's worth over $2,700. Okay? Make sure you go and then put it. For those who are on Instagram, can you put the URL, lovemappingcall.com? The books that I recommend. This is the first book I recommend, okay? The Science of Attracting Love by Shay Your Love Diva. First book. Then you want to go deeper, then you can get Dr. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can get The Male Brain by Dr. Luann Brizendine. And then you can get Men Chase Women's Shoes by Don Maslar. Okay? Now, this is what I also want. I'm giving the Love Lux today. The Love Lux kit, the $2,700 kit, is a bonus that I'm giving today. So if you didn't, congratulations, Dana. You booked today. I only put booked if you booked tonight. Okay? Robin, did you book tonight? Make sure you book tonight. I know, right? Scars and Sunshine, nobody didn't try me yet for me to bring out the multiple glasses. Okay? They haven't. If you book tonight, make sure you put booked, because I have something for you. And ladies, this is the time. Like, what is we in August, September, October, November, December? Some of y'all are going to be really upset around Christmas time. Again. And when you take action, like usually it's the women that take action like around this time, this week with the Lionsgate, those are usually the women that fast track, that collapse timeline and tap into that Lionsgate portal with manifesting their soulmate. So if there's even an inkling in you, I had one client, and I tell this story all the time. Okay, two clients. One client, she came to me, and I used to do like free readings at this fair that I would do at my church. And every time I would do the reading, I would see her soulmate. And she was dealing with feeling insecure. She was overweight and she felt insecure. Plus, she had a mother that was like super critical of her. And I told her what her love blocks were. And I was like, you really need to address this. You really need to heal it. Like, this is your soulmate. And I looked and I saw her soulmate on her second timeline. Because with my gifts, I see people's timelines. So it's kind of like turning the pages on a book, if that makes sense. So anyway, she was like, okay, I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna choose myself. I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna get help. She didn't, okay? But she came back to me the next year, and I did a reading on her. And this time, her soulmate moved back to the third timeline. And I'm like, baby, what are you doing? Like, this is what the love blocks are. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to align. This is when and where you're supposed to meet him. But these are the things that's blocking you from being able to meet him. And so she was like, okay, I got a settlement for my grandmother. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm coming to you. Just give me until next week. And I was like, okay, here we go again. Sure enough, she had an excuse when it was time for her to invest in herself. Fast forward 8 years later. I just did a reading for her. I think it was last October. And it was so sad, y'all. Tears came to my eyes. It's love mapping call. Can somebody on TikTok post the URL? It's lovemappingcall.com. Oh, Robin, congratulations. Oh, Robin, you already started. What are you in? Are you in BDU? Robin said she already started. So anyway, fast forward to 8 years later, she came back, and when I looked at her timeline, y'all, my heart literally dropped into the bottom of my behind. I was so hurt for her. And I said to her, I was like, do you still want to meet your soulmate? And she was like, no, I'm okay being by myself. And I was like, wow. I didn't see her soulmate, y'all, in her timeline anymore. Literally in none of them. Like, I even looked to her fifth timeline. I couldn't see her soulmate. And she looked sad. She gave up. She just gave up. And the thing, what made me even more sad is because my aunt did the same thing. And one day my mom called me and she was like, I haven't heard from your aunt. And like, it's been over a week. And my mom and my aunt used to talk every single day. And so I was like, Mom, I have a bad feeling. I think you need to go check on her. And my mom was like, no, sometimes she kind of disappears. And I'm like, nah, I really think that you need to check on her. Anyway, my mom ended up going over there. She did a wellness check. My aunt had passed away 6 days prior by herself. And the crazy thing about it is she was dealing with a Build-A-Bear. Like, she just settled for just good enough, but never really did the work, never truly experienced true love, and then died by herself. And it was like the saddest thing. That part to me is enough motivation to help as many women that will allow me to help them to never experience that. And when I saw this particular client where her soulmate was out of her timeline, that was extremely sad. But then I had another client. Her name is Allie. Allie just got married. I believe she's pregnant now. And Allie, she was dealing with a lot of insecurities because her father was a narcissist. And so she ended up attracting a boyfriend who was a narcissist. And I believe he left her like when they were supposed to get married. Like, he ghosted her. They were engaged and the man ghosted her. And so she was also a police officer and she got hurt on the job, and the job was overtaxing and it drove her highly in her masculine energy. And she was just unhappy all the way around. She was struggling financially. She was dealing with a lot of insecurities. She was hurt and could never attract healthy love. Her fiance ghosted her. Her father was a narcissist. And she had that kind of like, I can't do anything to help myself type of spirit. And she was in DV University. And so one day I was doing a session on her, and I said, you're supposed to meet your soulmate like in October, right? Like, I could see her soulmate. I saw the way he looked. I saw the way she looked. And so I said to her, I'm like, if you don't get up off your ass, you're getting ready to miss the train. This is what needs to be done in order for you to meet your soulmate. And I spoke into her, and it was something in her spirit that awakened because she started to do the work. And she ended up meeting her soulmate exactly when I told her she was going to meet her soulmate. And now they're happily married. And now they're getting ready to welcome a child. And that's the difference between somebody who says yes to themselves and takes action and chooses and does the work versus somebody who does not. And I get it. I know that some people just don't know how to choose themselves. However, I'm here for the person that even if you don't know how to choose yourself, if you say while you're on your love mapping call, where we actually help you identify what's blocking you and create a map forward on how we can help you to be able to meet your romantic best friend, how you can be able to make more money, that if you say, listen, I don't know how to choose myself, I just need you to help me to be able to do that, then we'll do that. But what we don't do is we don't sell you, we don't try to convince you, we're not going to force you, because we want people that are excited, that want our help. And those are the women that end up getting the results. Those are the women that come committed, coachable, and willing to be consistent. And as long as you bring me those three, then ma'am, I guarantee you, your whole life is going to change. You're going to have all the tools necessary in order to be able to attract your romantic best friend. Okay, since I keep seeing you guys ask, I'm going to do just a few readings before I go. Make sure when you book your call, make sure you post it so that we have you listed for, you said, Nicole, that happened to your aunt too? I know, it's so sad. Congratulations, Tiffany. Facebook is off the chain. Y'all are going to take up all the spots, all the love mapping call spots. Okay. Let's see. All right. Before I do a reading, do I have your permission to do a reading? If I have your permission to do a reading, just say yes, because then I'm going to do the reading on what comes to me, and then it will only be in alignment with those who've given me permission to be able to do the reading. So if I have your permission to do the reading. Which one of you witnessed your mother? It was your mother that used to abuse your father. It was your mother, and it's you because you operate highly in your masculine energy. You're very protective, like you're very guarded. You're very guarded. Your mother used to abuse your father, and you are very guarded. And the energy that you come at is you attract the kind of men who need to be taken care of. They need to be fixed all the time, but never anybody that chooses you. Never anybody that really pours into you. Mm. Um, it it feels sad. Like it feels like a lot of lonely energy. Um, it's funny. Just so you know, it sounds like a whole bunch of voices. Like it's in trying to pluck through to pick out which one. But anyway, there's somebody who there's his name is Tom, and Tom really liked you, and you rejected Tom. Tom was like really nice. You rejected Tom, and then you ended up with somebody who's like a complete asshole. Like he's a jerk, and you're still with him, but he's not with you because he's cheating on you. Like he's been dealing with other women. You kind of have a feeling, but you've been closing your eyes to it. I don't know if it's the same person who mother like abused her father. However, the one who like gave up Tom, and you're dealing with the guy that's a jerk, ma'am. First of all, it's time for you to heal, because you're just going to keep that pattern going on over and over again. The guy that you are crazy about, your words, not mine. The guy that you're crazy about, like he's playing you, and he continues to hurt you. So it's time for you to walk away from that. The reason why you didn't accept Tom is because you felt like you didn't deserve Tom. That's why. And until you realize that you do deserve somebody who's kind, then you're going to keep rejecting love. Was Tom nice, Courtney? Was that you? Was Tom the good guy? Um, Alea, I want to say, see, your thing is that like when men gravitate towards you, like they're excited about you in the beginning. They're excited in the beginning, but then it fizzles off. Like it's almost like the mask falls, or he loses interest, or like it's the reason why it's not consistent, and that's because you're very protective. Like you're very guarded, if you will. There's an emotional unavailability. You don't want to get hurt. You don't like getting it wrong. There's a lack of trust that if you did let go, that you would be safe. And so you choose the men who can't really fully commit to you. They can't fully be there. You said no, he left. Courtney. Courtney, why did he leave? If you don't mind me asking. Why did Tom leave? So he was never consistent. And mhm. Courtney, what is the number one common complaint your exes have had about you? Alea, I hope I'm saying your name right, baby. So this is what I see when I'm seeing you, right? Like I see your hands like this, like it's like I'm in this fighting mode. And there's multiple reasons why like you're in that protective mode. And I see myself like holding your hands and just being like, baby, put the gloves down, like put the guards down. Allow yourself to be able to heal and to be able to connect with yourself so that you can trust yourself, because the problem is that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to choose somebody who can truly be able to connect to you and really truly be able to love you. There's some dad stuff that's going on here. Exactly. Courtney, thank you for sharing that. Courtney said the number one complaint that her exes have is that she does not need them. Remember what I said earlier, Courtney? Were you here when I told you what men do? Like men who are provider men, when they're with a woman who doesn't need them, they're going to leave. They're going to leave or cheat, but they're going to leave. He said, I've been in Diva for months now, and yes, my dad cheated badly on my mother, but my mother was also abusive with me. baby, this is my recommendation, okay? I want you posting every day in Diva. The more active you are, the more engaged you are. When you see those testimonials of all those women who find love and that get married, when you see them pinned up at the top, the things that those women did is that they were consistent. They were consistently engaging in the community. They were consistently doing the work every single day, even when they got busy. They were consistently asking questions. They were consistently showing up for themselves. And when you do that, then you're going to get the results. I promise you. But the problem is that it's hard for you to show up for yourself consistently because you didn't have the people that create the foundation that's supposed to show up for you consistently. They didn't do that. So then what happens is it starts to breed it breeds a pattern of you being inconsistent with showing up for yourself. And that's what needs to heal. I always had to look after myself, so I find it hard to need people. Yeah, but then also you're creating this barrier where you're blocking the love from being able to show up for you. It's kind of like this. Like, ladies, here's the thing. This is the reason why it's so important for you to learn how to stand in your feminine energy to be able to receive love. This is a man, okay? Or this is a man. Let's do this. This is a man, this is you. In order for this man to be able to connect with you, there has to be an opening. Okay? Now this don't look right, but just follow me for a second. It has to be an opening. You have to be receptive. If not, if you are blocked, if you're closed, if you're unavailable, no matter how hard he tries, he's not going to be able to get in, ma'am. He's not. It's no opening. And you got to be able to open up. But the only way that you can do that is when you're in your feminine energy. And the only way that you'll be able to sit in your feminine energy is if you... She said, "Oh, that's gushy. I can't with you." The only way you're going to be able to sit safely in your feminine energy is when you heal. Because feminine energy requires safety in order for it to anchor. How many of you want to know what my secret is on why I have a 98% success rate for helping my clients to be able to attract love and transform their lives? How many of you you want to? If you don't want to know what it is that I do, then... And this is where the key lies. This takes it from a guessing game to a predictable results. How many of you want to know what it is, what my secret is? All right. Thank you, Melania. Hope I said that right. Hey, Lovebug. Can you be my Van O Black? All right. I'm going to try to use this. This looks kind of small, but maybe I can get the big one. Lovebug. Lovebug. Hold on. Let me get the big one. If you can see this, say yes. Can you see it? All right, let's start with this side. Okay. This is my secret formula. Now, I know there'll be some coaches on here that watch my live so they can copy my stuff, but this is trademark, just so you know, and I'm lawyered up. I will come. Okay, I will come. All right, this is the first step that we do. The first thing we do here, Lovebug, can you hold this for me, please? They can't see it, love. You gotta come in the screen. Where's my little pointy thing? You got my... You said I gotta get it printed backwards? Hold on, I'm gonna... I get it, baby. Just start where you're at. take one step at a time. Okay. All right. Come over here. First step, ladies, listen to me. The first step to guarantee you marrying your romantic best friend, and this is what people miss. This is the part they miss because it's not the sexy part. You got to start with healing and clearing those love blocks, okay? If you have been single longer than 3 months, baby, you have love blocks. If you've been single longer than 3 months, then you have love blocks. So once you clear these love blocks, then you activate that feminine energy. And you got to clear and heal your love blocks first because feminine energy requires safety in order for it to anchor. And then once you are able to anchor and activate that feminine energy, then you got to become your heal, whole, authentic self. In order for you to become your heal, whole, authentic self, then that requires that you're rewiring your subconscious mind and your nervous system. Your nervous system has to be trained that it is safe for you to have healthy love. How do you do that? That's what I do, okay? In Diva University and Boss Diva University, I created a whole program, put over $2 million into it in order to be able to help women to do this, because when I needed this, there was nobody around that could do this. There was nobody else. They were doing therapy where I was talking through it over and over again, but I wasn't truly healing. I wasn't improving. I was still attracting toxic, dysfunctional relationships. So then I had to go and learn this and study it and create my own formula in order to be able to figure out how to make it work. Okay, is this better? Okay. All right. So then when you rewire your subconscious mind, then now you become the version of you who you really are, based on your truth, not on your traumas, based on the heal whole version of you, not based on the lies that you told yourself because of the things that you went through, because of the way other people treated you, because of whatever you were told. These 3 things gotta be done first, y'all, before you get to the manifesting. Everybody wants to get to the sexy thing. Everybody wants to get to the manifesting, okay? You're in the Lionsgate now. Lionsgate is a powerful portal for you to be able to manifest. But first, if you aren't healing your love blocks, activating that feminine energy, because your feminine energy allows you to be able to tap into your intuition and your power to be able to create and becoming that true version of you. When you become who you really are, you know what you want. You know who you are. And creation needs clarity. You gotta be clear on what you want. If it's based on hurt, then what you want is going to be based on trauma, and you just going to manifest more trauma. You're going to manifest more pain. You're going to manifest more dysfunction. You got to be able to do these 3 steps first before you get to the manifesting part. And then when you're manifesting and you're calling forth what it is that you want, you're not dating because you're looking for a man. Somebody put that in the chat for me, please. I don't date to look for a man. Somebody put it in the chat for me. You don't date to look for a man, ladies. Absolutely not, no ma'am. You don't. You don't date to look for a man. I don't date to look for a man. I don't date to look for a man. I don't. That's not what dating's for. This is the secret. This is the secret, ladies. Dating is not for you to look for your husband. It's not. It's for you to get more clear on what you want. It's like looking in a menu at a fine restaurant and you being able to try all the food you want. It's like you being able to go to a cake tasting. You're going to a cake tasting not so you can get full. You're going to see which cake you like to eat. You're looking on the menu to see what is it that you like to eat. And if you try something you don't like it, then you send it back. You know you don't want that. Then when you're ready, you can order and be clear on what it is that you want. Dating is for you, not for you to look for somebody. It's to refine your asking. It's for you to receive what is waiting for you. And then you move into that space when you have clarity on what you want and what you don't want, and you're comfortable in your own skin. Then now it becomes inevitable for you to be able to attract your romantic best friend and your soulmate, who is going to want to spend his life with you. He's going to want to marry you. He's going to want to give you the world, because he's that kind of man. He's a man in his masculine energy. A man who's in his masculine energy is going to want to commit, provide, and protect you. That's in his nature. But ladies, to go through this process requires steps. There's 7 steps in order to get there. Can we flip it? You're doing so good, Vano Black. I appreciate you. Good job, love bug. Now, this is the secret sauce to our program, because every student that's going through our program through the love success journey, they know exactly what stage they're in. They know if they're in stage 1, stage 2, or stage 7. And each stage shows you exactly what you can expect. Most times when you come to a love mapping call, you're in stage 1. Oop, can y'all see? Love bug. Love bug, they can't see that. You gotta turn a little bit. Love bug. Turn a little bit. Uh-oh. Turn the other way. Turn the other way. Come this way. All right. So for stage 1, that means that you are extremely blocked. You have a lot of love blocks. KG923. I thought she said 7. Okay, she said I'm in stage 0. That's a possibility. So when you're in stage 1, then you're attracting poor toxic relationships. You are disconnected from your feminine energy. If you got married while you're in stage 1, ma'am, you're getting a divorce. Okay? 90% plus likelihood that the relationship is going to fail when you are dating in stage 1. A lot of you, the only reason why your relationships isn't working is because this is where you are. You're in stage 1. In stage 1, you're not ready to date. For my students, I don't encourage them to start dating until they get to stage 4. Because when you're in stage 4, here, move this over, love bug. Move it right here. Yeah. Because when you're in stage 4, your love blocks are low enough for you to be able to attract healthy love. Can y'all see this? In stage 4, you're emotionally optimistic. You are at a point where you're magnetic to fulfilling love. Your feminine energy is highly connected. If you got married at stage 4 or attracted somebody at stage 4, then that means it's a 25%. Here, hold the other side for me, please. You have a 25% likelihood that the relationship is going to fail. That means you have a 75% likelihood that it's going to succeed. Can you lift it up? Can you see it? Can you see it right here? Show the 25%. There it is. So that's why you don't want to date until you get to stage 4. When you're dating at stage 4, then you're more likely to attract the higher quality partners. You're less likely to waste your time. The best version of you is showing up. When you're at stage 4, you're going to attract somebody that's going to want to pour into you. When you get to stage 5, then you're going to attract a relationship where you're both are pouring into each other. When you get to stage 6, then now you're tapping into your powers. You're tapping into the ability to be able to manifest. You're going to see that more money is coming into your world. You're going to see more opportunities are coming into your world. And when you're in stage 7, then you're at agape love. You're at that kind of love where you are at unlikely to impossible. It's to death do you part when you're at stage 7. How many of you have heard people say that marriage takes work? You got to work hard at marriage. How many of you have heard people say that? Ria, you done very good. Ria said it's very true. I went through the stages and now I'm at stage 4. But you were also consistent. You also did the work. You also kept showing up for yourself. Okay. So you hear people say that you have to work hard in your marriage, right? How many of you guys want to sit there working hard? Raise your hand if that sounds appealing to you. Does that sound appealing for you? For you to marry somebody and then now you got to just work hard in that marriage? Does that sound appealing? Huh? No, not yet. Do you want to know why they say that? Do you want to know why people say that you got to work hard? Because I would not want that. Brandy, yes, I do have information on ayahuasca. Give me a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. Exactly. Danny, email support@shaybetter.com and tell my assistant that you won a digital copy of my book, please. That's exactly right. Because when you get married between stage 1 through 3, then that's effort for love. You got to work hard for love when you're in stages 1 through 3. When you're in stages 4 and 5, then you're receptive to love. Then you're magnetic to love. And then when you're in stages 6 and 7, you're automatically going to be an attractor of love. You are love. You're a reflection of love. You're going to inevitably attract what you are. But if you're getting married here, which most of the population is, this is the reason why 70% of the population is unhappy. They're either unhappy in a marriage or unhappy by themselves, or not able to attract a healthy relationship. 70% of the population, because most of them are getting married in this stage, because most of them don't know what it is that you just learned today. There is a journey that guarantees that if you go through it in the proper order and you're consistent, you're committed and coachable, then you will attract your soulmate. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of will. And you'll know exactly where you are on every step of the journey. And if you want that kind of support and that kind of results and that kind of help, then all you got to do is say yes to yourself. You said, where is this chart located for sale? This is only my students get this chart, baby. This isn't, I invented this. This isn't for sale. Okay. This isn't for sale. If you booked your love mapping call, go to lovemappingcall.com. When you go to lovemappingcall.com, my love specialist is going to sit down with you, and she's going to help you to identify what exactly is blocking you from the love that you want. And then she's going to create a plan on how we can be able to help you go from stage 1 all the way to stage 7, guiding you through the process of dating and attracting your romantic best friend. A man who is masculine, high value, marriage minded, and who will love your soul. So if that's you, make sure you go to Love Mapping Call. For those of you who are on this live, then just for those who are on this live, you're going to get 50% off. I'm going to give it to you, the Love Mapping Call, for $97 instead of $197, and also give you $2,700 worth of resources to help up level your love life. So basically, you're actually making money to choose yourself, basically, is what's happening. I'm basically giving you money to be able to choose yourself and to improve your life. So if you want that help, just go to Love Mapping Call. You said how much to be in your program? It depends, baby. It's not a one size fit all. It depends on at what level that you're coming in at. Okay. Do we have more than one romantic soulmate? You absolutely do. You absolutely do. You have more than one. Somebody asked me a question. I've been hearing a lot about ayahuasca. Do you have more information about ayahuasca? How many of you have heard about ayahuasca? What do I need to do to get a discount? Ma'am, my program is not for you if you're even asking for a discount, baby. You might want to go up the street to the people that sell their programs for only $500 or $1,000. If you want the cheap program, that's definitely not it, ma'am. My clients, I'm the best in the world at what I do. They don't come to me asking for a discount. So, no, ma'am. How many of you, you ever heard of ayahuasca? You want to learn more about ayahuasca and how I incorporate that in helping my women to heal? Oh, you was asking about that discount. Okay, ma'am. I was about to say, like, I can't do nothing for you, honey. When you go to lovemappingcall.com, we've already set it. We already set it. Not set it, but we set it so that for this live, then for those of you who book from this live, you'll be able to okay, Victoria, ma'am, thank you. So when you go to lovemappingcall.com, then it's going to be $97. However, after this live, it's going to go back up to the $197. How many of you guys want me to talk to you about ayahuasca and what my experience has been with ayahuasca and how I integrate ayahuasca in my my program to help my students? Let me know. I don't have to talk about it. It's up to you. All right, Love Bug, thank you so much. I love you.
Love you too.
You've heard about it. I'm interested in learning. Okay. Okay. Oh, Ria. Ria, I'm gonna do a training. You guys have a training for the ayahuasca. So I'll do a talk before we go, making sure that you're prepared. I take all my students every year. I take a group of students to Costa Rica with me, to Rhythmia. Rhythmia is the only ayahuasca center in the world that I endorse and that I take my students to, because it's the only medical grade facility in the world. They have doctors there, they have nurses, they have an ambulance that's out there that they've never used, and it's like ancient. So they have shamans that for many, many years have experience in working with ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a powerful healing plant medicine that a lot of people have experienced life transforming healing doing that plant medicine. I have, my husband has, so many of my clients have experienced like the power of ayahuasca. And the best way for me to explain ayahuasca, it's like spending your whole life thinking that life in the world is one way, the way people told you that it was, and then you open your eyes for the first time and you see the truth for yourself. You're able to see yourself and the parts of you that have been hidden from you, that have been preventing you from being able to live life more abundantly. You can see the parts of you that have been locked up that's caused you pain. They've done research, a lot of research on psilocybin and ayahuasca, and how people who experience trauma, it gets locked up in the hippocampus, and how that's what prevents them from truly being able to heal and move forward. So like, let's say if somebody gets bit by a dog, that trauma gets locked there. And so now whenever they see a dog, then they have a reaction. They don't trust dogs. And it's the same thing with women with men. Like for a woman who was violated when she was younger, or she kept getting hurt by men or disappointed by men, then she doesn't trust men. And so she will, every time she sees a man, she will reject him, especially if he's in a romantic way. The Rhythmia trip is part of the program. Yes, it is part of the program. Like, it's, you don't pay for the program and then we pay for your Rhythmia. We help you to get funded so that you get the money for it if you need to do payment plans or do funding, and then we have you put it to the side so that you can be able to invest in it. But it is highly recommended and is part of the program. So when you go through ayahuasca, so when you go through Boss Diva University helps you to heal the things that are blocking you, that's in your mind subconsciously, that's trapped in your body, the things that cause you pain, past memories, past experiences, things that you know about. However, for many women, there's things that they don't know about. There's epigenetically, there's trauma in their bloodline. So like, let's say that their grandmother, like mine was, raped when they were younger. Then that trauma passes through the bloodline and is still affecting and impacting them. When did you go? I go every year. Every year. So I've been at Rhythmia 6 times. So when I went to Rhythmia and I did my first ayahuasca session, I was able to see why I had so much anger. Like, why was I constantly in so much pain? Like, why did I keep attracting so many toxic relationships, and why was so much pain in my family? And so when I did the ayahuasca, and nobody ever in the family ever talked about this or knew this, but I saw my grandmother got raped when she was 7, and it created a break in her where she disconnected from herself and from her body, and she was very angry. And my grandmother would say like some of the meanest things. But once I saw what happened to her, like, it all made sense. It made sense, like how it impacted my dad, how it impacted all of my aunts and my uncles, and all the pain that permeated in my family. And then I got to see like me, like how I was showing up, like how was I impacting my kids. And when I saw that, like, I was literally horrified. I thought I was going to get the pat on the back, like, you're doing a good job, you help a lot of women, you're doing good in the world. But when I saw myself, I was like, it was, I'm just going to keep it 100%, okay? Ayahuasca is not the thing you do to get high and have a great time. That's definitely not ayahuasca. Like, I think a lot of people think like it's like hippies spinning around drinking juice that gets them high. Like, it's so many other fun and more fun ways to get high than doing ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is for healing. It's like you heal 40 years that maybe therapy might help you to do, or not even come close, in only a week at Rhythmia. And so when I was there, my father had just passed away that October. And my no, he passed away in November, and then my dog of 12 years passed away that December. Losing my dog was very traumatic. Okay, don't laugh at me. It was so traumatic. And y'all, I had a conversation with my dog, and I was able to have a conversation with my dad, and I was able to like grieve him, because I didn't grieve him, and I was able to grieve him, and I was able to learn so much, and I was able to heal so much. And after I left Rhythmia, it's like something unlocked in me, because I was struggling with getting my business to where it is that I wanted it to be. And I left there, I want to say, I think it was October. No, because he passed in November. No, it was January. So I went to Rhythmia that January, and then my business started to explode. Like, literally. Made $1 million in that year after Rhythmia, because it's something about it that unblocks the things that's blocking you. So Jerry, who's the owner of Rhythmia, he loves it when women who have been in Diva University or Boss Diva University, when they've been in my program, because it's like going to work out, like working out your subconscious mind, working out your emotional acuity, like getting strong enough so that the ayahuasca can do what it needs to do to help you to have permanent healing and better integration. And you're in a community and with a coach that's supporting you through that process. So then you get better results from the ayahuasca when you are part of the Divahood University. So for a lot of my students, they go to Rhythmia on like, I don't know, January, and then by like March, they're like, they meet their romantic best friend. Like, it's fascinating. Seriously. Like, it's so amazing how that happens. I had one couple, they were a married couple. When she came to me, she had filed for divorce from her husband, and she was getting ready to leave her husband. And during the call, I said, "Baby, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It's not him, it's you. And if you get a divorce from him, you're gonna get another divorce." I said, "Do not divorce him. Stop where you're at. Let me work with you. Give me 3 months, but don't divorce him." Thank God she was coachable. She listened. And after working with me for about 4 months, her and her husband started dating again. And I started guiding her through the process of dating her husband. And then after 6 months, they moved in together. And her husband, who's like very highly Christian man, went to Rhythmia with her. And he went with like a lot of fear and a lot of reservations. And, but he trusted the process. He even trusted me, because it's not like a religious thing. And he was able to see it for himself. Anyway, y'all, I wish you could have seen the transformation that happened in this man. Because when I tell you the way he like fell in love and loved his wife, and the way their relationship catapulted to another level, like their marriage is still amazing. That was like 3 years ago. Their marriage is amazing. He's much better man. She's much better in her feminine energy and healed. Like, it's awesome. With the experience of women over 50. There's this one lady that goes, who's like in her 70, and there's another lady that I know of that went when she was in her 80s. So 50s, you're still a baby. You're still young. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. the third, I was there when he went. Dr. Michael Beckwith, like, he's one of the board members. The dog whisperer, what's his name? Casper, Caesar something. Not Dr. John Gray, but the chicken soup. John Cantfield is also one of the board members. Ayanna Van Zant, she also speaks there. So for the first time ever, I am going to be one of the, because they usually have celebrities that come and lead like a week. And so for the first time, I'm doing a women's only week at Rhythmia, October the 26th. And like all these women are going to go down, and I don't even know, like, I think it's almost like sold out now, and I haven't even started promoting it, but they're all going to go down there. I'm going to lead the week. I'm going to be the first to be able to lead the breath work, which is super powerful. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with my Love Mastery retreats, and when I do the retreats and doing the breath work is super, super powerful, and the retreats are super healing, and I'm going to be teaching there. So I'm going to combine my retreat with the ayahuasca, and that's going to be October the 26th. But you got to use, when you go there, ask them for my link. Okay, like don't do anything yet. Like, let me post it. Like, or some of y'all ain't gonna listen. So if you do call them, just say that you want Shay's link in order to go, so that you count as part of our group that's gonna be going, and it's really gonna be super powerful. So it's something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, that I'm really, really excited and really, really passionate about doing. You said, can you get information on this? She said, I have to go. I don't care about the cost. Yeah, you can go. I haven't really promoted it because I wanted to make sure that all of my students get to go. And I wanted, and another thing too is, women who go and they're not part of a community and they're not receiving the emotional support, then it can be a challenge for them. So like I've toggled between promoting it just to the general public versus students, because students, I know that we've done what we needed to do to help them to get mentally and emotionally strong enough to be able to go through the ayahuasca process. It's not a game. Like, it's not something that you just do. Like, if you're ready to do the work and you're ready to heal and drop baggages from generations, then rhythmia is for you. But you got to work out. It's kind of like trying to run a marathon and you didn't do any working out, you didn't do any running, you didn't do any preparation work, and now you go into the marathon and you surprised that you passed out at the first mile. You know, it doesn't work like that. So I see a lot of people that do ayahuasca, and then they're like, well, I didn't have that experience, and that's because you didn't prepare for your marathon. A healing community surrounding is so important, because we help you to integrate, because then the women, they work with their coach, and their coach helps them to integrate their journey when they were at Rhythmia, so that the healing is a lot deeper. It would be in Costa Rica. It's in Costa Rica. Yeah. You said crying, throwing up. Is that a question? I don't understand. Is there such thing as twin flames or only soulmates? There's a such thing as twin flames, and there's also such thing as soulmates. You don't ever want to marry your twin flame. Your twin flame is to teach you the lessons that help you clear the way so that you can receive your soulmate. Twin flames is not for you to marry. Twin flames is to prepare you, to reveal to you what are the love blocks. What are the things that are keeping you from being able to experience life more abundantly, to receiving love, to receiving the abundance? That's the point. No, that's not what a twin, isn't the twin flame just yourself and another person? Absolutely not. No. That's a fairy tale. That's a farce. It's called a twin flame for a reason. It is a divine reflection of you. It's a divine reflection of your pain. That's why it's fire. And so it reflects back to you, what are your blocks? What are the things that your soul needed to heal in this lifetime so it can be able to receive greater, higher love, higher abundance, higher experience, etc. So when you meet your twin flame, you know you meet your twin flame because it's intense. It's like high highs, low lows. It's hard to leave them. You want to stay, but you know you can't stay. It's not meant for you to stay. And they help prepare you basically for your soulmate. That's what it is. Sorry, I said I seen the video. It looks so intense. Crying, throwing up, and just a whole new world. It is. It really is. If I told you some of the things that I saw, when I did ayahuasca, you would think I was crazy, but it was so magical, like really. Even when Lovebug went, because at first, when I first went, Lovebug was like, I'm not going. Yes, Brandy, you have to have a passport to go to Costa Rica. But when I first went to Rhythmia to do the ayahuasca, Love Bug was like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not gonna be out there with you hippies. Basically, is how he was. I'm not gonna be out there with you hippies drinking this stuff and crying and peeing and pooping and doing all this other stuff. He was so extra. And then when I came back, I was so different. Like, he was just like watching me and his wife. Like, my wife is like a different person. Like, I was lighter, like I was a different person, basically. And so he was just like, okay, I want to go. Like, I want to go. And then when he went, his transformation was really, really powerful. It was really, really beautiful. And it took our marriage to a whole other level. I had a client that was, she went through Boss Diva and she worked so hard and she was addicted to cocaine. And she worked so hard to heal and to get off of it. And she was like 6 months sober. But then, like, the people that was around her was trying to tempt her into going back. And she was really struggling because her body, it was still like in her body. So her body was craving it. So I sent her to Rhythmia. And her journey was amazing. And she's been clean ever since. I think that was 5 years ago. And then I had another client who's addicted to marijuana. And she's VP of a company and very successful. But she could not kick her addiction to marijuana. And she also had her love blocks and she struggled with love. And so she went to Rhythmia after doing all the work, and she did a lot of progress, but doing the Rhythmia was like that final cherry on the top. And when she did that, she never went back to smoking marijuana. She was able to heal. She was able to, like, she's so magnetic. Like, she's been enjoying dating. I got to check in with her, but it's inevitable for her to be able to attract her soulmate. So women's lives truly, absolutely change. You said, I knew what number I am for your program. I don't, what does that mean? How scary is ayahuasca? Why are you experiencing? Are you aware that you're under the influence? You know what is crazy? A lot of people are scared before they do the ayahuasca, right? So, like, you have a lot of people that are nervous about doing ayahuasca at first. And then when you're in the journey, like, you're not scared. Like, you're in it. And it's like, it shuts off a part of your brain that feels pain or feels trauma, so you're able to process it without being tortured, if that makes sense. And it's almost like your body is shedding the energetic weight of it, right? So you're not like in fear while you're in the journey. No, you're not. You're aware of everything that's happening, thank God. But you're not like, oh my God, this is the worst, I'm being tortured. Like, it's not like that. How will I know what number I am for your program? Do you mean like what stage you're in? Is that what you're asking? Because I created the Love Success Assessment at lovesuccessquiz.com. And when you go to Love Success Quiz, then it allows you to see what stage you're at, your feminine energy level, your love archetype. It allows you to see the probability of success in your next relationship. Like, it's truly comprehensive. There's nothing else out there that's like it. So when you go to lovesuccessquiz.com, then you're able to see what stage that you're in at this point. And then in the app, I created Her Pocket Coach app, and Her Pocket Coach is going to be able to launch like fully with the full system the end of August. And there is going to be the AI, it's going to be AI powered, and it's going to learn you. So based on interacting with you, based on coaching you, based on questions you answer, based on the journal work that you do, based on the gamified assessments that you're going to have throughout your journey, then it's going to track exactly how you're progressing through the stage, and then bring customized information and rituals and data and activities in order to help you to continue to meet your need to ascend through the 7 stages. Erica Badu spoke on it on the Breakfast Club. I've done research. It's truly something I can't wait to experience. Hopefully, you can come with us. Okay? Hopefully, you can come. But my recommendation is, and listen to me when I say this. Okay? Do the love mapping call first. Get in the program. Start the journey where you're at based on your budget. Get in the program. Allow yourself to start developing that mental and emotional strength, and then come with us, because coming with a group of women is like extremely powerful. Coming with a community that's going to support you and hold you up and allow you to be able to like integrate even afterwards, like it's extremely powerful. I'm telling you, it's going to outweigh any other experience that you've ever done. So I love you on the source. I'm a big Dr. Joe follower as well. Congrats on all your success and new life. Oh, Dr. Joe also was instrumental in me being able to transform my life. Back in 2019, I was like that type A Ruby. I had to be the top at everything. I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I was dominating in the entire Southeast. And I had to be number one. And overworked. I completely jacked up my thyroid. My thyroid was producing growth, and then it was producing high levels of T4, I believe it was. And I had Graves' disease is what I had. And so one day I was coming home and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. My mom was on the phone with me when I pretty much passed out. And then she called 911. And you said I got married to Lomi this month. You just got married, Yancy? Congratulations, babe. Yay. So when I came home, I passed out. My mom called 911. And then I woke up. I was in the ambulance. And I was like, confused on what was happening. Went to the hospital. And they said that I had an extreme case of hyperthyroidism. It was affecting my heart. I had paralysis on the left side of my face. And so the doctors were like, you have to get your thyroid removed. And I was like, I'm in this industry. I don't want to have to be on medication for the rest of my life. I don't want to have surgery. And it was really hard because I knew that I could heal myself. I knew somewhere, but I was afraid. Like, I was afraid of dying. I was afraid of having to be on medicines. Like, I couldn't get under it. And so then my doctor was like, Shay, you can't keep doing this because the way it's affecting your heart, like, it's going to kill you. So then I had to do the surgery. 3 days before the surgery, I had a moment where I just surrendered, where I was like, okay, God, if this is for my highest good, then this is fine. I surrender. I trust you. But if you can bring my thyroid back, then bring my thyroid back. Now, I didn't know at the time that, like, you don't regrow a thyroid. That didn't even dawn on me. And so after the surgery, my doctor put me on like the lowest dose of medication. And then I went back in 30 days and my numbers were high. And she was like confused. So she like half the dose. And then I came back 30 days later and it was still high. So then she sent me to the doctor, the surgeon who removed my thyroid. And that doctor said, he was like, your doctor doesn't know what she's doing. And he's like hooking up the ultrasound to like check my throat. And this man, he's a dark-skinned Indian man, and he turns pale white. He drops the ultrasound handle out of his hand. It drops on my lap, and he runs out the room, y'all. It's the weirdest thing. So I'm sitting there like, what in the world? And then I start getting nervous. I'm thinking he's getting ready to tell me I have the C word. So he comes in, he's ashen, and he's looking scared. I didn't know until later he was afraid I was going to sue him. But he has my charts, and he has the ultrasound from when he did the surgery to show that my entire thyroid was removed. And he said, I don't know what happened. He said, I did my job. I removed your entire thyroid. He said, I have seen only 2 cases where flesh grew back, but I never seen a case where a working thyroid grew back. Your thyroid grew back, and you know, like, you need to get off all the medications because your thyroid is producing hormone. And then he was getting ready to say, we're going to have to do, and he was going to say, we're going to have to do surgery again. Y'all, I jumped off that table so fast and hugged him and said, I got my miracle, and ran out of the room. Like, I ran out the whole building, right? I was so happy my thyroid grew back. Problem is, I went back to my endocrinologist, and she measured my numbers, and my thyroid was still high. It was still producing, like, too much hormone. And so she was like, Shay, we're going to have to do the surgery. Like, it's still high. Like, it's still going to affect your heart. And y'all, I said to her, I believe now. I believe. I know I can heal it. I said, just give me 90 days. If you can just give me 90 days, I know that I can get my thyroid numbers down to where it was normal. And I think the same, like, spirit, the same, like, knowing that was in me passed into her, because she looked at me like something hit her, and she was like, okay, I'll give you 60 days. I'll give you 60 days. But in 60 days, if it's not normal, then we're going to have to move forward with the surgery. And so I came back in 30 days, and my thyroid numbers had dropped. It started to normalize, but it still wasn't there yet. She was like, it's improved, but it's not there yet. And I said, I'm not done yet. You said I had 60 days. I came back in 60 days, y'all, and the doctor came in boo-hoo crying, holding my charts. And she was just like, there's nothing medicine could have ever done to do what's happened with you. I can't even explain it. This can only be nothing but God. She said, your thyroid numbers are completely normal. You have a working thyroid. Your thyroid has healed. And we just sat there, like, basically crying and praising God. And so I'm the first person in the world to ever regrow a working thyroid. And I use Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations in order to be able to do it. Yep, that's the story. Okay, Brandy, I'm going to look for you. Yep. Yep. The thing, too, that you know, because, like, so many people come up to me and they're like, well, how did you do it? And they mystify it. They're like, okay, well, you know, it's God. God did it. And yes, God did it. But God needs you too, right? Like, God needs you to be able to align with that infinite, intangible intelligence, that infinite intelligence. God needs you to be able to align with that intelligence in order for the miracle to be able to come through. And the way that I was able to do that was I was able to know the truth that God loves me, everything is working out for me, that my body loves me too and wants to heal and wants to work for me, and that I trust the process. I trust the divine alignment. And when I was using Dr. Joe's meditations, which I still do, like, every day, it allowed me to get into that knowing, to allow the miracle to be able to happen. When people ask me if I suggest any specific meditations, like, all of his meditations are amazing. I don't like to recommend a specific one, because the one that worked for me, it might not be the same one that works for you. And then you're caught up in your own understanding. You're caught up in your own mind. And you're not moving out the way to allow that infinite intelligence, right, to move through to do what it needs to do. So I would just say, like, you will gravitate towards the meditation that's for you, that would be able to help you to do what you need to do. Anyways, ladies, I love you. And if you know anything else, you don't remember anything else, just remember you are the prize. And when you heal your love blocks and you rise as the prize that you've always been, then the right person who has already said yes to you. They were selected before you even got here, will rise up and claim you as the prize that you already are. I love you. God bless you. If you want my help, go to lovemappingcall.com. Don't second guess. Don't delay. Simply just take action. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside. God bless.